person most likely to explode during a game award. The damn award. Don't at me. Anybody better than Fran McCaffrey in terms of it? Red face explosion.
Like literally and figuratively, he could explode at any moment during a game. The only one that I've seen come close, Tom Crean. Like he would go crazy at Indiana, especially. I feel like he's a little more like in check since he had his year off and now he's at Georgia and stuff. But Tom Crean would be up there, but nobody gets redder and looks like they're just gonna combust than Fran. There's like the whole Fran index, right? The shades
Fran
of red.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When I was playing at Indiana, I was a freshman, and our star player, Randy Whitman, said, when Coach Nutt yells at you, just stare at him, like right in the eye. Don't look anywhere, just right in the eye. So it was a national TV game against Iowa. He calls me over, and the whole crowd got silent to listen to what he was going to, call me. I stared him in the eye, and I swear to God, Allison, I could see his eyebrows growing as he was yelling at me. You dumb son of... And it's like the pressure was putting his eyebrows out, and I'm starting to laugh almost, but I didn't think I should.
But
I've
you
always paid attention to who's...
Awesome.
I did. And it was a close game, and I got to play, which was rare. But I've always watched the coach getting ready to implode. All right, hey, pal. How about you proofread your text and know who you're sending it to award goes to Bill Belichick based on the Brian Flores lawsuit. What are your thoughts?
If that's what tipped him off to the fact that they'd already made the hire was that text message, whew. I mean, that's bad news bears right there. What a crazy ordeal. And I feel like the person Flores should be most, angry with, is the Dolphins. Like, what were they thinking getting rid of him? First of all, I mean, I think that was just stupid. And it sounds like him and Stephen Ross had beef, and there were issues like he wouldn't tank and all that stuff that's swirling around now. But like Bill Belichick, I mean, you just got to feel like such a jackass if you're the one that tipped him off to this. I mean, and that's the other part I don't understand is like, why did Flores still go to the interviews and the dinner? I mean, if he was really convinced that they'd already made the hire, I thought that was odd too. Like he was like, I was forced to sit through this knowing that I'm not their guy. I found that kind of odd. Like, why don't you say, no, I'm not going? But maybe he thought there was still a chance, or I don't know. Yeah. Come on, Billy. Like, we've all done that though, right? It's just, usually it's like a little embarrassing for you and not national news.
I did it on Twitter, and it became national news the other day. I put a picture in the wrong spot. I put it in the replies instead of in my actual tweet, and people just killed me. And I screwed it up, but that's why I saw this. I don't know if you saw this, but Joe Staley's like a legend. He came after
Melissa Whitworth,
Andrew. Yeah. Look, hey, social media gets us all at some point. Joe Staley, did you see that?
I did, but like, I felt like Andrew kind of blew it up more than it was by attacking him for it, because Melissa even, and I know the Whitworths from their time in Cincinnati, and they're really good, fun people. And like Melissa likes to throw them back, which is probably one of the reasons I liked her. And she, the next day, was like, hey, is there an app to delete text you send out when you're drinking, right? Because she obviously had been drinking after the game and celebrating and whatever, and then sent that tweet out, which I didn't think was a huge deal. Like, I'll buy your tickets, don't sell them to the other team. Joe Staley, like, why do you even care that she tweeted that? And then I didn't think his was really trolling her. I mean, it wasn't, I don't know. I felt like it was all really blown out of proportion, personally. And then Andrew, like,
I felt like
yeah, like he got all pissed off and goes after Staley about it and stands up for his wife, which I get. But I just didn't think it warranted him getting that publicly, like, worked up about it. Does that make sense?
You know what I thought initially, and maybe I still think this. I thought initially there must be, I know it was worded that there wasn't bad blood between them, but I thought to myself, I wonder if there's bad blood between these two guys, because it did not seem that it needed to be blown up that way. It just didn't. All right. But I read it, and it's one of those deals. Sometimes you read something and you're like, oh, what the hell is this?
Like, is it a slow news cycle day? Like, why is this a thing? I don't know.
Yeah, both are great.
It overshadowed the better ticket tweet social media story of the Rams, and that was Kelly Stafford, Matthew's wife, buying a handful of tickets for Rams fans. I just thought that was so cool. She saw how expensive the tickets were. She's like, this is insane. Tell me like why you deserve to go, and I'm going to buy a bunch of tickets for some fans. Like, I thought that's the story that people should be covering, not this like stupid stuff with a couple.
Yeah, I agree. No, I saw that. I like Kelly Stafford. I don't know whether I'm supposed to or not. I don't know. I just know that when she does something, I kind of watch.
Dude, she like survived brain cancer and stuff. She's the most adorable cheerleader at Georgia. If you don't like her, like, I don't know, figure it out, because she's very likable. And she has like this podcast. She keeps it really real. She actually talked about throwing, I think it was pizza at a San Francisco fan, like on the road. Yeah. And like, she owned it. She's like, I've been drinking. I was pissed off. They were being jerks. Like, she keeps it real. I like her too.
I think there should be two buttons on Twitter. One is the drinking button, and the other one, I tell you what, when Lee and I get a little wine in the summer, we go on Amazon Prime. God damn. We go on Amazon Prime, and next thing you know, I had a bearskin rug show up at my house. I did. I had a bearskin rug.
Oh, that's amazing. Like, there should be, like, when you go to push tweet, like, there's a red or a green, and, like, you push the red if you've been drinking, so people know it comes up in a different font. I could have, but see, that actually would be bad, because then I probably would have sent a lot of tweets that I wrote, like, during this whole pandemic, and then I probably would have, gotten fired sooner.
Yeah, right. I'm tired. Joe Burrow said I'm too rich to have fake diamonds. People lose their mind over the stupidest thing. He is too rich to have fake diamonds. Is that wrong?
No. We pay these guys millions and millions and millions of dollars, and then we ask if their diamonds are real. Like really? And then people get mad when they're like, yeah, do you know how much money I make? Why would I buy fake diamonds? Like, come on. That's so stupid. He makes way, like, what else is he gonna, you can't spend the amount of money the NFL quarterbacks make anymore. And like, it doesn't matter how much trip you have, like, it's insane. So yes, the fact that people are mad he said that is just, they're people with fake diamonds.
I explained this to a friend of mine. I go, a quarterback makes a lot more than this, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, he makes $1.2 million a year. You understand that's $100,000 a month, right? Like, okay, my mortgage is $10,000. All right. I mean, damn, buy yourself some diamonds, and when you said it, own it.
Like, when Chris Mack got fired and they broke it down, like, he's going to get $113,000 a month for the next 5 years. I'm like, holy moly.
Right?
Because it's hard. I'm like this, at least. I don't know if you, like, to wrap my mind around what 140 million looks like, or 200 million looks like. Like, I can't fathom that. Like, I don't have a way to grasp, like, what I could do with it, or what that would mean, or anything. Like, that's so far gone, right? But when you say $130,000 a month, or like when you break it down by paycheck, you're like, oh, I lived on that? Yeah. Like, a month?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a lot of money. Yeah.
That's insane.
It's insane.
Totally insane.
It's insane. It's completely insane.
And everybody's mad. Whoopi Goldberg, how do you still have a job? I guess she got suspended. I know how she has a job. The show's popular, and she's kind of the face of it, right?
And she's a member of the left. So if somebody were to say what Whoopi Goldberg said and was a white conservative, they'd be out of a job. They would be cancel culture list #1. You are fired. See you later. Show canceled. Like, I mean, look at what, like Roseanne Barr, she had the #1 show on TV, and she's done. So Whoopi still has a job, because she's Whoopi Goldberg, and she's a person of color on a very, very left, liberal-leaning show, and the left doesn't cancel the left. So she will not get canceled, and I'm not saying necessarily that she should, because I don't believe in cancel culture. What she said was incredibly misinformed and hurtful in a lot of ways.
Stupid,
The best piece, like, opinion kind of breakdown of this whole thing that I have heard, and this is not because I'm with the Daily Wire now, go listen to Ben Shapiro's podcast talking about Whoopi Goldberg and why what she said matters. And he talks about the intersectional hierarchy of racism. And it's fascinating. It's fascinating. I need to, like, re-listen to it, because I listened to it once, and Ben's way too smart. And the other thing Ben says that I think is very true, and like, Whoopi is one of many people on television who aren't necessarily intelligent and smart, but they're famous. So they get jobs. Like, we have to stop with this. You're famous, so you should be on TV and everybody should listen to your opinion, because this is where it lands us. We need smarter people on television. That's why everybody listens to Joe Rogan.